Hi, Shelby.
Hello.
What's going on?
Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. We are here. Thank you guys so much for joining us on Adobe Live once again. My name is Arabella. I'm joined here by Shelby and James, who run Little Drill. And Little Drill is a creative studio. And you guys are based in the West Coast, right? Or sorry, in the East Coast.
Yep.
East Coast.
Yes, but you were raised in the West Coast, right?
That's right. Yep. We're originally from the greater Seattle area.
Amazing.
And then we lived in Brooklyn, and that's really where our business started and took off.
Yeah.
And then now we are in Allentown, Pennsylvania, which is just a couple hours outside.
Oh my gosh, so exciting. Well, thank you guys for joining us today on this stream. We're so excited for this 2-day live stream, and we already have a ton of people in the chat. So I'll just shout out a couple people. Let us know where you're watching from. It's really awesome because Shelby and James, I don't know if you've watched any of the previous live streams, but people are watching from like all over the world. And it's crazy.
So cool.
I know. Yeah. Tell us where you're watching from. Hi, Sean. Hi, Cody. Hi, Clever. Hi, Samuel. Hi, awesome. Someone's from the Great Northwest. Paco is tuning in from Colorado. I'll add a couple people more add into the chat, but thank you guys for joining us. We are excited for this photo editing stream with you guys. If you can, tell us a little bit about, actually, you guys, sorry, I have to get to the schedule first. I haven't live streamed it a little bit, so I'm I feel a little rusty.
So good.
Sorry about that.
Take your time.
But thank you guys. Pierre just went for the creative encore right before us. We've got Little Drill until about 11:30 a.m. Kathleen right after for a holiday challenge. Then we've got Cecilia for an editorial design stream at noon. We've got Kyle T. Webster for a draw along at 2 p.m. And then we have a design off with Voodoo Val and Jessica Fong at 2:30 p.m. So lots of stuff going on. Please tune in just all day. You are welcome to just kind of tune in as you're working or you're editing or anything like that. Adobe Live is such a great resource for many creatives, and so we thank you for tuning in. With that being said, Shelby and James, I would love to get to know a little bit more about you for anybody who is new to you. If you guys can introduce yourselves and maybe show a little bit of your work as well.
Awesome. Yeah, Shelby, you want to talk about it and I'll pull up some work?
Yeah, I'll talk about it. So we are Little Drill. We are a creative studio. We primarily do photography, but we also do art direction as well. And we just try to keep it fun and weird and light. And we have a lot of minimalist, colorful visuals. And the goal is really to get people to stop scrolling because we're so overstimulated right now with so many visuals, and to get someone to stop and take a moment to look at your image is such an honor
and appreciate your work.
Exactly. So that's what we're going to talk about today with you guys. I am the creative director side of the business, and James is the technical side of the business. So he is going to be taking us through the Photoshop ins and outs with you guys. And we're really excited to be here.
I know. Well, I love that you're pulling up all this work too, because you guys do such incredible work. And me and my business partner have been such fans of your work. And it's just so exciting to have you guys here. And anyone in the chat, please feel free to ask any questions. Shelby and James are here to offer all of their knowledge and expertise. So even personal questions, apparently, like what TV you're watching or,
Bring it on.
We want to engage with you guys. So just join into the chat. And with that being said, too, if you're watching from YouTube, please come on over to Behance, behance.net/live, because that's where we can see your questions. That's where we can see your comments, and where you can talk to James and Shelby. So come on over here and but what are you guys going to be working on for today and tomorrow? I'd love to hear.
Well, I'm going to be editing some pretty simple photos. Just kind of in our original style. We really have kind of evolved over the years. So we started out with that classic monochromatic pop art, solid color background photography. And that's really what our clients at the beginning of our career just wanted every single time. And that's kind of what put us on the map. So we're going to be editing some simple, colorful photos, and then hopefully combining those photos into kind of a patterned grid shot. Ooh. And then if we finish that, we have some other stuff that we can work on. But, you know, I know there's so many amazing Photoshoppers and amazing creatives watching from all over the world right now. So I'm sure that there are so many people who I cannot teach a thing about Photoshop, but I hope that there's something about our experience that you can learn from, because I know I learned from everybody I meet. So yeah, we're just super excited. Yeah, it's
oh my gosh, I love it.
Exciting.
I'm so excited. And yeah, go for it.
Yeah, while you guys are listening or watching, if you think of any questions that are related to Photoshop, obviously fire away. But if you have questions about business related to a creative field, or working with clients, or, you know, anything,
making the leap from amateur to professional.
Yeah.
We love talking to people about that. You know, we meet people every single day who don't realize how awesome that they are, and probably don't realize that they're probably ready to go pro or to start making an income from their photography or from their Photoshop skills.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. You guys are so encouraging. I love it.
Well, like, so on the screen, can people see my screen right now?
Yes.
Awesome. So this is a picture that we did for Carly Rae Jepsen. And as I'm thinking about like how good at Photoshop you need to be to go pro, this photo is a really appropriate one to kind of look at, because it's probably a pretty simple Photoshop job to take a disco ball and make it look like it's melting. Yeah. But when we got this job, we had no idea even how to start that. So
my gosh,
that melting disco ball that you're looking at is a disco ball that we bought at Party City. We sawed the bottom off of it, and then we poured some pancake batter on a table.
He's not kidding, guys.
Spray painted the pancake batter with silver spray paint, and then in Photoshop just made it look like we knew what we were doing.
Like it melted.
And so, like, you know,
oh my gosh,
there's always like where your Photoshop skills start and your photography skills, and or vice versa, they will meet at some place, and that's where your project is going to be.
Yeah.
So yeah, for this one, it worked out really well. It's one of the best like jobs, like as far as having fun, that we've ever done. So, and we met this girl once at a thrift store who was like obsessed with Carly Rae Jepsen, and just meeting somebody who took a picture for Carly Rae Jepsen, she got all like teared up and like verklempt. I was like,
oh my gosh, that is so cute.
Amazing. I was like, okay, well.
She was like, oh my God, you took that? I have that t-shirt. Oh my God. She was so cute.
That is like adorable.
Wait, they put it on a t-shirt? I never got that check in the mail, but I was just that's okay, Carly. You could put anything you want of ours on a t-shirt.
It's all good. We had a couple people chime in the chat. Someone's watching, Nicola from Montenegro, Clever's from Texas, Samuel's in the Bay Area. Yeah, super excited. And then, yeah, so Jay and Eric was, I see Shelby and James are working in Adobe Photoshop Lightroom Classic, which is awesome. And yeah, thank you, Cody, for plugging in Little Drill's site. So go check them out. Also go follow them on Instagram. It's just at Little Drill, right?
Yep.
It's at Little Drill. Yep.
Perfect. So super exciting. Yeah. Keep coming with the questions in the comments. We love them. But yeah, cool. I'll let you take it over. And if you wanted to start.
So, all right. So we're going to start, you know, these photos are kind of inspired by the fact that like we have so many balls in the air all the time that we're constantly juggling. And so it's been kind of difficult really to run a photography company while at the same time we've invested in real estate to diversify our income, which by the way, saved our lives during this pandemic.
Oh my gosh.
And so, you know, this is kind of inspired by all the different responsibilities that we have. Here you see a paintbrush. You know, Shelby and I have become like full-time painters since getting into real estate, and full-time, it feels like plumbers. And contractors and everything else. So
Mhm.
that's also why the surroundings are kind of messy. You see the floors that we haven't installed in the background over there, the carpet that we haven't
Yes.
pulled up and thrown in the garbage yet. And so we kind of wanted to leave it that way just because, you know, that's kind of what Photoshop's all about. It's about getting rid of that background and replacing it with a little magic. So
Yes.
Totally. We thought that a lot of people would relate to this this type of an image, you know, just having so many balls in the air, so many plates spinning, whether it be, you know, real estate and photography, or you're going to school and you're trying to, you know, work and build up your portfolio with weddings, or, you know, your day job, your night job, and then you throw in this fun 2020 year that we're all having.
Yeah.
And it's a lot. So we felt like everybody could probably relate to this.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's been nuts. I want to hear how people in the chat too have been doing through the pandemic, both professionally, and I hope everybody's happy and healthy. And man, we have so much empathy for everybody going through this.
Yeah, absolutely. Same here. Yeah, let us know in the chat. Would love to hear from you guys.
So typically I'll do some adjustments to a photo in Lightroom, but for these ones, the pink background is really evenly lit. The photos, we used a strobe light through them that was really consistent. So they're all pretty much the same. So I'm just going to start in Photoshop.
Okay.
If it were like, you know, a landscape or some architectural photography, we would definitely make a bunch of adjustments in Lightroom first. But today we're just going to jump right into Photoshop and start by duplicating the background.
Very nice.
Cool.
So, Jan Eric had a comment. They said, I'm an introvert, so the pandemic has almost zero effect on me.
Oh my gosh. I wish I was an introvert.
I can relate.
I'm so jealous. Yeah, I'm sure you can, Shelby.
Yeah, we're opposite. James and I, completely opposite.
That's amazing.
And that's a good thing. We were going to talk about this, and I'm curious, Arabella, if this is the same for you and your partner. But for us, it's been so helpful where one of us has a weakness, the other person fills that gap and has a strength. And that has just really been a beautiful thing for us throughout the last 5 years of growing this business and growing as creatives. And I'm so thankful that we found each other and were able to do this.
Oh my God. Yes. No, I absolutely. And I was going to actually ask, I think partnerships are so interesting, you know, like there's so much more, you have to really like kind of balance each other out, or at least like, you know, like you said, like find the strengths and the weaknesses. Like a good partnership should, you know, someone should take care of the things where someone is not good at in the other partner, you know?
Yeah. So, I think in an ideal world, like there'd be more of those strengths and weaknesses. Hopefully, like in a perfect world, it's like some person has half the strengths, the other person has the other half of the strengths, and neither one of them have any weaknesses. But I can tell you that like we have our weaknesses and they're on full display at all times. Like Shelby has to like take me to the grocery store just to like get me out of a funk sometimes, because this pandemic is like, it's no like joke. That. Like it's just stinking lonely. I hate it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, for sure. Sean's asking, is this a solid color fill?
Yeah, so I created a new layer. I'll go back. So I created a new layer first, and then I just filled it with the same pink as the background.
Yeah.
And then I turned that layer into a mask, and I'm going to paint over it with black so I can reveal what's underneath it.
Nice. Yeah.
And this is one of those times too where it's like you start to feel like, oh no, am I going to be done editing this photo in 5 minutes and then have nothing to do? That's why there's a bunch of different hands. So if we run out of time, if we like finish this one, there's more to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. And I think that's kind of cool. That's what's great about having like, you know, this type of style where you can really just like wipe out the background and make it really easy and kind of build out that pattern, which is cool.
Right. Totally.
I love it.
So when we were like, we were doing this live stream, and I was like, okay, we got to check out Weekend and see what you guys have been doing lately. And I was like, gulp, they're good.
They're very good.
Oh, you guys.
You guys
Oh
are
no,
talented.
they're better than us.
We're the biggest fans of you guys. So like, you know, I mean, it's an honor that you even think our work is good.
Are you kidding me? It's like so stinking clean. Like it's so clean. Like I don't even think we try to get our work as clean as your work is. Like honestly, it's ridiculous.
Oh, you guys are too sweet. You guys are too sweet. No, this is awesome. But yeah, I mean, I would love to hear a little bit more about like each of your roles and how that plays into your business.
James, you want to take this one? I know you're editing, but I feel
Well,
like
Shelby is my caretaker. She makes sure that I
Feed
go to
myself.
bed before 4 a.m. and she makes sure that I wake up before 11. And
Oh, if you didn't put it together, people, we are engaged and business partners. So
Amazing.
oh
we
right,
didn't clarify that.
yeah.
No, I love that.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody wants to be my business partner that doesn't like.
I can't put up with you. Just kidding.
If you don't love me, you're not gonna put up with me in business. That's a fact.
No, so
Amazing.
James and I, we've been together for 9 years,
Oh my God.
and James has a photography background, and I
Mhm.
have a business background and a styling background. And I was the personal stylist manager at Nordstrom downtown Seattle.
Oh my
And
gosh.
anyways, we met and we were just so done with doing our 9-to-5s, and
Yeah.
we put our heads together and thought, you know, what could we do? And we combined our powers and decided we're gonna do some photography together.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
And
And it was really helpful that I found somebody that believed in me. And it's really helpful that Shelby found somebody that didn't believe in her. And I'm not talking about myself, but I remember when we were making the leap into full-time photography, she was talking with her boss and she was talking with all these people. It was incredible how many people were just like, don't do that. That's
yeah,
Really?
crazy.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
I think at one point her boss was like, the subway is no place for a pretty girl at night. Because we were moving from Seattle to New York City.
Right.
And it was crazy. Like, so all those people really like lit a fire under Shelby. And it was like, he's not able to be stopped now.
Oh yeah. No.
I'm still
For
completely
sure.
freaked out by her, honestly.
Yeah, watch out, people.
Oh my gosh. Olivia's asking a question. She says, hello,
Yeah.
I was wondering if you had any advice on creative burnout. I've been doing freelance photography for about 6 years, anything from wedding to portraits, etc. But after a few rounds of bad clients, I really felt I needed a break. I've been on that break for about a year and I'm wanting to get back into the photo realm, but I don't want to end up just getting burned out again. So any thoughts?
Yeah, I have been there myself. James has been there, and
What do you mean have been there? We're there.
I know.
We all get there. Like we know exactly how you feel.
Yeah, I found that when you are excited, like authentically excited about something, whatever your medium is, or if you're a photographer, whatever it is that you typically shoot, if you're pumped about it, it's going to inspire you creatively to do something that you're proud of, that you're, refreshed about and excited. And so I think maybe just going out and finding something, maybe that's something new, like maybe you've never shot still life before, or maybe you've never gone out into the city and shot in the streets or anything like that, but maybe just getting out of your comfort zone and stretching yourself creatively to challenge.
That's really great advice.
I think also, like there's a lot of people who are creative and who put a lot of pressure on themselves to also be creating things that are new to them, right? Okay, so, you know, sometimes Shelby and I would get creative burnout because we were constantly trying to push ourselves to do some new type of style or to do some new type of photography when other people were picking up the slack and doing what we did at the beginning of our career. And we were just kind of like too, you know, up our own butts about like not like ripping ourselves off. So we always wanted to like, we would always look at our work and make sure that we're not plagiarizing ourselves. We were just thinking way too hard about it. You know, sometimes you don't have to like reinvent the wheel every time that you do something creative. Like it's okay to just do what you know and to find the areas of your creativity and of your work where you're comfortable and spend some time there and get yourself reacquainted with the places that you're most familiar with and most comfortable being.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. Also a random question from Oscar Zaldana, which I know of. Hi, Oscar. How would you describe the color pink to a blind person?
Oh my gosh, what a fun question.
I know. I figured you guys would want the fun
Oscar.
questions, so please ask them.
Well, first of all, I am sure there's somebody who's blind and listening or and watching. I mean, this show. So I want to be careful about how I answer that. Shelby.
Oh man, I just love that question. I think a way that you can describe the color pink, just some adjectives that come to mind are joyful, peaceful, playful,
yes,
fun. I love pink. I mean, obviously, if you looked at any of our work, we have it everywhere.
Such a like pop of color. Like, I don't like pink, but I love pink in photography. There's something about it.
I would say, okay, like even if you're 100% blind, because there's a lot of people also that are like 50% blind who have an idea of what the color
or even colorblind.
Yeah, and I'm sure like, but even if you're 100% blind, born that way, you still know like what the sun feels like on your skin. It's warm, but then a breeze comes along and it makes you just happy and your hair stands up on your arms. Like I'd say, like Shelby said, it's warm but joyful. It's like such a good color. I don't know.
It's such a good color.
And then I would say to that, I would ask that like blind person if I did a good job describing it, and I would apologize if I didn't.
I feel like I would just I wouldn't even like try to describe. I think I would just hand them like cotton candy and just call it a day.
Here, eat this.
I love it. I love
Thanks
it.
for the tough question.
Here,
I know. Jan Eric has a comment, and Jan Eric, by the way, he's in the chat all the time, and we love Jan. But he's like, I'm a bit uncomfortable with the name Little Drill. It reminds me of the dentist. He has not seen so many little drills.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh.
I never thought about that, but now I agree with you.
I know.
And we need a name.
Man.
Shelby, tell them where you came up with Little Drill.
What's that?
Yeah,
tell them how the name Little Drill came about.
All right. So Little Drill is an iteration of a nickname that my dad gave me when I was young, and it's just Little Girl. He would call me Little Girl.
Oh.
And I would say it back. I was really young, and I would just repeat back Little Drill, and so then that became my nickname. And yeah, it's catchy and it's fun, and we thought it suited us well. So my childhood nickname is our company name.
That is so cute. I love that so much. I love that story for sure. Olivia says, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. And then Samuel says, I don't suffer from burnout as much as lack of inspiration. I've always used other people as inspiration. I like to design for someone. And he also says, pink is a cool fire that spreads warmth throughout your body in the most comforting way.
Dude, okay,
everybody in the chat, I love that. Everybody in the chat, send your pink definitions because
please.
that was really pretty.
Poetic.
Oh, Jan Eric says the color you feel when you really love someone, like a pet. Oh, I love that.
Don't make people cry.
I know.
Come on.
I love you. I want to write these down.
I know, right? That would actually be a pretty cool series, like finding ways to like describe a color and like do a whole series of like different colors and how you would describe it through an image.
Let's do it.
That person said they have trouble finding inspiration because they like to create for other people.
Mm-hmm.
And I identify with that so much. And Shelby and I just last night were talking about exactly that. This person, I took a picture of the PPL Tower. It's a tower in Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
And I put it on Facebook, and there's this lady that commented on it. I don't know who she is, but she's from our city, and she commented and said, I love this picture, but I can't help but imagine King Kong like climbing up the building, and it like scared her or something.
Oh my
Anyways, I was like, oh, that's fun. So I made this for her last night.
Oh my gosh.
I added King Kong to the building, and I reposted it, and I said, you know, here's the comment that she made. Merry Christmas. I made this for you.
Oh.
And I knew that she would get some sense of delight. And at the very beginning of our career, and still now, like, we just want to delight people. And at the beginning of Instagram and the beginning of social media, it felt really easy to do that before algorithms got involved.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden it felt like
Now
less people were taking delight in what you were doing. And all of a sudden you were making it for the algorithm, or you were, you know, and all of a sudden you're like missing working at Starbucks and taking orders.
Oh, whoa.
That's
I
little fast.
Oh my God.
That feeling comes from that place of like wanting to serve and delight other people. And that's a really noble place. So I wasn't kidding. For sure. Sometimes I miss making coffee for people.
Oh. No, but I get what you mean, for sure. I mean, we all kind of want that about our work, right? We want someone to find joy in it or to admire it and like take it in. But yeah, it is tricky with Instagram and its algorithm, and just like it feels like you have to be more strategic about how you do things and when you post, and like it's wild. But I would love to get your guys' thoughts on you know, putting your work out there. Like how do you feel, or what do you feel has been successful for you as far as just your brand?
Oh man, it's such a different world than it was when we got started. It all felt like it happened so organically. We didn't even really have a strategy for getting our work out there. And we were just blessed, I guess, to have it kind of take off in the beginning. So now it's a different world for people. And I do a lot of, reading online about the different ways that you can get your work out there and kind of use these platforms as tools to get clients and have people see your work. And I think that if you're not enjoying what you're doing while you are also being strategic, for me, it's really difficult. So for me right now, we're working, James and I, together on balancing the joy of creating with the strategy of business. And it's always changing. I swear, literally every week that something's different with the algorithm or the focus, or there's a new tool on a platform that you need to learn and pick up and fold into your business as well. And so it's just an ongoing little juggling trick that we all have to do. And I think that at the root of it, at the core, if you're happy doing the actual work and making, your product, then you're gonna be all right balancing that with the business side of things.
For sure. I love that. your response.
But,
Awesome.
I mean, also like putting your work on social media, even if you've been doing it for a super long time, is still really stressful. Like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
there's algorithms. The algorithms are designed to keep people on the platform. They're not designed to keep people looking at your work or to even put your work in front of somebody necessarily. And that can be a lot of stress for a lot of people. Like, it's a lot of stress for us. I remember our engagement went way down when those algorithms were introduced. But the thing to understand is that everybody is feeling the same thing as you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that is like the comfort, right?
Yes.
Like, every other creator is going through the exact same thing. So yeah, that helps me a lot. It reminds me, we went to this party in New York once, and it was like on this really rainy, kind of soppy summer day. It was all humid outside. And like, we went there on the subway, and this is like what living in New York is like. Like, it's so disgusting. Like, you could feel every bit of the subway clinging to your body. And then we like walked into this venue where there's this like hip like influencer party.
Lots of them. Yeah, it was all.
And it was literally 400 degrees in there. People are wearing leather jackets. People are wearing fur, probably. Like, and I just remember thinking, everyone here is pretending like they're not so uncomfortable physically. And, you know, that's kind of how it is in social media too. Like, people try not to let it show, but they all have the same stresses as you. So just know that you're not alone. You're never alone.
Yeah, for sure. I love that. And I mean, I think that's also like, you know, Adobe Live in general too. Like, we're not alone in like being in this community and like sharing and kind of the same struggles as creatives. So a lot of people are chiming in the chat. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we've got well, one, Jan Eric said, it's interesting how culture dictates how we perceive color. And
that's a good point.
Yeah.
Smart.
Where is the person from?
And Clever says, light pink is like newborn flesh, glowing, dewy. Hot pink is quite another thing.
That's
Richard's
true.
like, pink is a singer. Jessica Tam says, pink is Pepto-Bismol.
True.
Pepto pink.
I love it. Well, thank you guys for chiming in the chat. Oh, Jessica says, pink is a millennial, aka that period of time when the color called millennial pink was everywhere.
Everywhere. Man.
You know, we were like so excited at first, and then we were like, slow down. Everyone's gonna get sick of this.
Know your role, everybody.
I love it. Ooh, I like how you like cleaned up this background underneath the hand. Yeah,
and I just screwed up. So let me think.
I love it. And this is what happens, right? Like when you're editing and like you're editing something new, you're kind of like troubleshooting a little bit.
Yeah. So did you see how like I here got the black that I was painting underneath? Like I got it on her arm.
Yeah.
But it's like, obviously we don't want that. It's not on its own layer. So it's not masked out. So I could like start over and Control Z a bunch of stuff. But I think I can just duplicate the background, turn that into a mask, only get rid of this little part. And then, I know, right? I'm so stressed out right now.
Honestly, it's okay. Like,
and then merge it down.
It's hard, like editing and talking at the same time. So don't feel bad at all. Everyone goes through the same thing. It's hard.
Hey, that looks good.
Awesome. Cool.
Shout out to our props model, Becky, by the way. She is awesome. We love working with her.
She's amazing.
You should check her out. It's Becky on Insta.
I love it.
I'm gonna go up here, add a little noise. I'm gonna start doing another hand now.
Okay.
And then we're gonna start trying to combine them. And then also I kind of want to go through like changing the color of the background, because a lot of times like the client will be like, we love it.
Can you change it?
We don't like the background. And then it's like, oh, well, we're not reshooting it. So
yeah, for sure.
Nice.
I'd love to hear about how, like, what was your experience like maybe when you first started working in Photoshop or Lightroom, and how that all went down.
Remember when you were a kid and you were like trying to get to the bathroom and the lights were off and you're feeling around and you hit your knee on the dresser and then you step on a Lego? Like, that's what it was like. It's like feeling around in the dark. I mean, like, when we first started out, it's like so much of the things that we would be doing for the very first time we're doing for a job.
Yeah.
So when you're trying to make a living, you're not really able to say, oh, sorry, I don't know how to do that. Go hire somebody who does. I mean, that's not really a luxury that you have. So, yeah, I mean, but also like, so right here, like the things that you don't know about Photoshop or that you don't know about how light works in a photo, like can kind of help you develop your style. So like very early on, I started editing photos and I like got into my brain that like metal is blue. It's like cold to the touch. And so like I started coloring all the bits of metal on stuff blue. Like you can see it's like reflected with pink right here, but then I would just say, I like it blue. And it just kind of like started kind of developing into our own style. And so we would do things like take something, pick a color from inside that thing, like a leaf, and then paint that thing with that color, because in my brain, like I wasn't thinking that like the reflections of other things should be casting color onto leaves or casting color onto paintbrushes. So I was trying to fix things that weren't actually problems. But then by just doing that and not worrying too much about it and not spending a week on Google trying to figure out the theories behind this stuff, it kind of developed into our own style.
Just did it. That's such a great way of like thinking about it, because I'm kind of the same way. I also like to fix things if I see color cast too, but like the way that you explained it, like your process for it is so interesting. It reminds me of like when somebody takes like a really old photo, like from like, I don't know, whenever, that's a black and white photo or whatever, and then they like go in Photoshop and start painting the colors in, you know, like that's what kind of made me think of that. But that's so incredible. I love that. Ooh. Okay, yes.
Yeah, so this is like the last one was painting, and then you have to remember to like actually post on social media.
Yep.
Keep up with the socials.
Dude,
keep up with the socials.
I hate it so much.
So
it's so hard.
Today we're bracing ourselves for a really crazy snowstorm.
Really?
And it's supposed to start, I think, while we're live, and I see little flurries coming down outside. It's supposed to snow like 2 feet here.
Oh my gosh.
And I love the snow, so I'm like, bring it on.
Yeah, you're like ready.
Yeah.
Well, our city's in a state of emergency.
No. Yeah?
So yeah. It's supposed to be like 2 feet of snow.
Whoa.
I don't know what Shelby's
You guys aren't going anywhere.
Nope. We hit the grocery store, got an extra gallon of milk. We're good.
Nice. Yeah. Go for it.
I was just going to say I extra identify with this photo because I don't own a phone.
Oh, you don't?
No, I don't have a phone.
Oh, wait, that's amazing.
I haven't had a phone in how long, Shelby?
That's unheard of.
Has it been 2 years now? I think so.
Three probably.
Really?
Yeah, and then before that, I would have a phone for the past, like, you know, like 4 or 5 years before that, and like it would be like the end of the month, and I'm probably used it for like an hour. I mean, I have an iPad. I'm not like a freak. Like, I'm like one of those people in Seattle that's like, I don't have a television, and they're like addicted to Netflix on their computer.
Amazing.
Like whenever somebody in Seattle would say that they don't watch TV, I would start spoiling Dexter And then they would be like, no. Oh, I thought you don't watch TV. Well, I have a computer. I'm not weird. All right.
That is hilarious. Oh my gosh. I love that you brought up Dexter too, because Dexter's my all-time favorite show.
Love it. It's so good.
It is
and
so
that
good.
intro.
And also, it's supposed to be coming out for another season. Did you hear that?
Don't.
Get out of here.
Let it die.
Arabella,
What do you think about that?
Don't play around here.
I'm not playing. I'm not playing. It was announced, and I lost my,
Wait, you
lost my
lost your
stuff.
mind in glee or in frustration?
No, well,
Really excited.
I was excited, but I'm hoping that they redeem themselves, because I feel like that ending was like,
I agree. Totally.
I don't know.
Oh my
I don't know.
God. I'm like trying to
I know.
contain myself here, 'cause I'm
Go
really
look it up later.
Okay.
Valerie says, I'm in Philly. We're getting it too. Are you guys in New York?
No.
We are in Allentown, Pennsylvania, 2 hours outside of New York.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We came here because real estate is really cheap.
Yeah. Really affordable, and there's a lot of development happening here.
Yeah.
So we're really excited about the future of the city. And it's like the new cool thing for people to relocate now.
I know.
So if you're thinking about relocating, you should definitely check out Allentown, Pennsylvania. You can come visit us. We have a studio here. We'd love to get coffee with you.
Oh,
Very fun.
Call us first. Don't just show up.
Oh my gosh.
Here, actually, I think we have, and if I'm going too slow on Photoshop, then just tell me.
No, you're doing great. Rob Zilla says, yep, sleep here as well. And Jessica's in Massachusetts, and she also is getting it over there as well.
Oh my gosh. Yep.
Jessica also was like, I thought Dexter had ended a long time ago.
It did.
did, but they
Not
announced a special next season. I don't know. I just hope that they redeem themselves. And I think what happened was they changed writers over
Is
time.
that really what happened?
I think so, because you could tell after season 4, it just took a different direction.
Yeah.
But
Everything's got a peak. I peaked years ago. I don't blame Dexter. I mean, season 4 was obviously the best season. But just because you peak at season 4 doesn't mean that you can't finish strong.
that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
I
So
guess
this
I just
is our
was a little
studio.
confused. Oh, cute.
No, it's
Yeah.
not.
Oh,
So this is what our studio looked like when we bought it. Shelby and I found ourselves in a Amazon Google economy in Seattle. I'm a high school dropout. Got my GED when I was pretty young. Shelby is smart as a whip, but also not a college graduate. And we really found ourselves on the outside of a college graduate's economy. And when I have kids, I'll encourage them to go to college if they want. I love all my friends work for those companies. I get it. But at the same time, we couldn't get interviews to work at Amazon. We couldn't even get an interview to join our friends' team over at whatever, tech company they were working for. So, we looked for an economy that was kind of emerging where we could fit. And we found this property in Allentown, Pennsylvania. It's 4,000 square feet on the main street downtown. And we picked it up for $105,000.
wow.
And it was a absolute mess inside. It was so gross. We were trying to do work in there while we were cleaning it. You wanted to take a shower after a photo shoot because this red carpet was, I don't know, soiled with what, but it was really
oh my gosh.
During construction, we would still try to tell our neighbors that we're weirdos. We hung up a shark in the front.
In the storefront there.
Ooh, look at that.
Yeah.
And then this is where we start to get those distractions.
Okay, look at that.
Yeah.
That is real cute. Yes.
$100,000, folks. I mean, walk outside in Philadelphia, in Austin, in San Francisco, take a look around, ask yourself if you can buy that stuff. If you can't, think about Allentown, think about Fargo, think about small places.
Yeah.
And this is the interior now.
Oh my God, that looks stunning, you guys.
But now we're not there anymore. Now we're back to construction. This is our retail storefront.
Okay.
So this is all leased out now. And through the pandemic, it's like kept us afloat with our tenants.
That's amazing. Oh,
And
that's
yeah,
really, really awesome.
But yeah,
Wow.
we've had different people visit from New York, clients come and shoot with us in the space, and it's just so fun. Like, we absolutely love it, and we're so excited that we were bold enough to take that plunge. And it was quite the undertaking, taking on that property and doing all the construction, but man, pays off in the end. Feels good.
Yeah, absolutely.
we got some scrapes.
A couple of people were commenting about Allentown being charming.
Oh, that's so nice.
And then
It's charming. It's very charming. We love our city so much. Yeah, it is a really charming place. There's Amish markets here. There's, we're still go to New York all the time. Like, we can go to New York just for a show and come home. It's awesome.
Oh, that's amazing.
Kind of get the best of both worlds. You get all the problems of a city you'll find in these kind of medium-sized cities, but all the charming attributes and of small towns. So it's really cool.
Someone asked where in Allentown is the studio?
It's on Hamilton Street.
Yeah,
right there. Is somebody from Allentown watching? Amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe.
That would be so funny.
From Allentown?
They're like, where do you hide your key?
Where's the hide key?
A couple people commented. Cody says that building is really cute, fixer-upper, but really cute. But then they noticed the paint job. So they said, it's really great.
Yeah.
And Gus says hi. Hi, Gus.
Hey, Gus.
Hey,
I love that name, Gus.
Me too.
I used to name a cricket named Gus.
Adrian says that looks fantastic. A lot of time and money to bring it up to such a high spec. Yeah, for sure.
A lot of time and money. That's life, baby. It's all time and money, right?
It's the time and money equation. Shelby and I talk about the time and money equation all the time. You can do anything you want, but you can't do everything you want, and you can't do it anywhere you want.
Yeah.
It's all just the time money equation. Do you want to spend 450 years saving up money to buy something in New York? Yeah. Or do you want to buy something with your life savings in Allentown tomorrow?
Yeah.
And if you can afford to live in New York and big cities, I say, God bless you. I'm so happy for you. Like, do it. I love it.
Yes.
Definitely not here to big city shame anyone.
No.
Love it. I love that you're using the that tool too to select. I feel like it's so much more precise. Yeah, the pen tool.
Yeah, just figured it out recently. No, I'm just kidding. I feel like you never fully learn the pen tool. It's
tricky. I actually like the curvature tool a lot because it does it for you, the curve. It's super interesting.
Curvature tool. I'll have to Google that as soon as this is over.
Oh yeah. It works.
Right after you Google Dexter.
Yes.
Great.
What's it called? I don't know. I lost my train of thought, but
sorry.
Curvature.
No, you guys are good.
The curvature tool.
The curvature tool. Yes. It works most of the time, but I feel like I still struggle with the pen tool, the main one, the one that you're using. I feel like it's so tricky.
It's like that Black Panther cologne from that movie, 60% of the time. Every time.
Anchorman.
Yeah.
You guys, that word curvature, it's reminding me of that Goosebumps girl meme. The Goosebumps are my favorite bird. Oh. Curvature tool's my favorite tool.
The curvature tool is my favorite tool.
Oh my gosh. Love it. Yes. Cool. I love your guys' style. How to tell me more a little bit about how you developed it, or I don't know. Also, James, I don't know if you talked about what you were doing. Were you doing still photography before you and Shelby kind of joined forces?
Yeah. So I was just languishing, wasting my life.
Not true.
See, my problem is that I have a problem, and so many people watching this stream do too. I have a problem putting value on things that I create. So I was doing a lot of stuff for free. I would like shoot a wedding for like a few $100s.
Okay,
Like
I've done that
now,
though. I've done that in the past though too. You know, we all did it.
Yeah.
Looking back on it now, I'm like, my friends took advantage of me. Like,
No.
One of our earliest clients, they wanted 14 photos. I won't tell you who they are because I don't want to like give away other people's budgets or whatever, but they wanted 14 photos. I was like, okay, let's do like $75 a photo. It was like $1,000 or something dollars.
Oh my gosh.
So it was like $1,000. So Shelby was like, this is like our second or third job. We called our friend Leonardo. Shelby did. They talked. Shelby is the businesswoman. She's the one that actually believes in me. So she ended up getting us like $7,500 for what I was going to do for like $700.
Oh my gosh. Get it, Shelby. Yes.
So like one of my biggest pieces of advice that I can give people is that like, if you don't believe in yourself, just find someone who does and hang on their every word.
Yes. 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 100%. Okay. My business partner, Ellie, is you, Shelby, and I'm James. I mean, I feel like James and I relate.
Yeah. It's that balance effect, you know?
Yes. Yeah. And maybe like, just like organization and structure. I feel like I need it. And I feel like that's my partner for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Amazing.
Yeah, I am your partner, I think. And
I love it.
It's a beautiful thing though. We have another friend, a couple that does creative work together, and they talk about how they do video production when they're on set. They would tap each other when they were getting burnout and I need a break. And it would just be a beautiful thing.
Yeah. I love that. I mean, and that's the thing, right? Like you and James are partners, like, you know, me and my business partner are together, but like, that's like the important thing. Like if you're going solo, like you absolutely need to have like some sort of community or like support group or something so that, you know, it doesn't feel so alone.
Totally. Yeah. And I know there are even creatives out there that like the business is their work as an individual and they as a person are the face of the company, but then they do have like a person that works super closely with them that is in essence a partner that does so much work. Yes. And I think that it's just a really helpful thing. And if you are a creative out there that is like hearing this and thinking, man, that sounds like that could be really helpful for me, I think you should definitely like rack your brain and think about who you got out there in your corner that could maybe be a business partner for you, whether it's like teaming up and doing it the way that James and I do, where we're both somewhat faces of the company, or just somebody that's more behind the scenes that doesn't want to be that out there, but loves, you know, the challenge of starting a new business and working in a creative industry. And yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. Caesar says, I love that advice.
Oh,
I love
my face a little bit ago went into a really bad resting position.
Honestly, it is okay. Like
I told Shelby earlier, I was like, if you see my face get ugly, just off and then I'll go and scene. It was all
I love that. You guys, if you're watching right now, or if you're just joining, we're here with Shelby and James, who are the co-owners of Little Drill, a creative studio in the East Coast. And yeah, they're working on this really cool kind of like, I don't even know what you describe it, like a tabletop like pattern of just all these hands with items to represent.
It's all
Oh my God,
hands
do you
on deck
have
here
one?
at Adobe.
Wait, that needs to be the title of this this project. All hands on deck.
All hands on deck.
Wait, oh my God, I was gonna ask for a second. I thought you said you were about to say that you had one hand with hand sanitizer in it.
Oh, that's it. Man, we didn't think of that. That's perfect.
We forgot to even
Like a
include
mask,
COVID.
you know, like a.
Yep.
That's how you know you're
paper.
really stressed, when you're putting together a list of all the things you're super stressed about and you forget about COVID.
You forget about the one thing that's actually done all of this.
It's kind of nice once in a while to forget about it, though.
This is true. This is true. But yeah, as I was saying, Shelby and James, they are the owners of Little Drill. So go ahead and follow them on Instagram at Little Drill, or check out their work at littledrill.com. Thank you for plugging in the links, Cody. And yeah, they're just showing you all their little tips and tricks. And if you have any questions for them, feel free to ask them in the chat. And if you're watching over in YouTube, come on over to Behance, behance.net/live. This is where we'll be able to see the chat, your comments and your questions, and you can talk to Shelby and James. So take advantage of it. We're here today and tomorrow.
Sometimes when I'm working and I select something, this happens to everybody, I'm sure. You'll get this this little dark line right here where you didn't quite select it correctly. You can still see that little edge, and I feel like you could spend so much time trying to get that perfect, and you're still gonna see a little bit of that that fringe on the end of it. So what I like to do is go to the layer underneath. So this is our colored background. Instead of trying to get the colored background a perfect mask, I'm just gonna go to the layer underneath and use my stamp tool and take a stamp of the edge of that thing and just take that stamp along that edge, and it will kind of bring itself to. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that absolutely makes sense. That's so good. Oh yeah, that's a quick fix. I love that.
Yeah, there's probably an easier way to do it, and I don't know what that way is, so.
Yeah, it's either you can really precisely do it, by selecting hardcore and spending a ton of time on it, or there's easy fixes like this, which is great.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things too, where it's bittersweet when you find out that there's an easier way to do something and you've been doing it so wrong for so long. Because you're think about all the time you've wasted. Just the other day, I was wait a second. So if I have this zoom tool, I can just scrub it left to right to go in and out? What? I was I don't have to just go in and out as much as it wants me to. I can fine tune it. Amazing.
I love that.
I was working on a laptop for a super long time, so I just started working on a desktop again.
Oh my gosh. And isn't it life-changing?
Working on a desktop?
Yeah, or just a bigger screen, not a 13-inch.
Yeah. Don't tell Shelby, because...
Yeah, I know.
Don't tell Shelby, because Shelby's in charge of the finances. And she's going to be like, we got the laptop souped up, and we got the basic model desktop, and she's doing math in her head right now about the finances and about where we spent the money and did we spend it in the right place. So everybody in the chat, tell Shelby to calm down. It will be okay.
It's an investment. It's an investment.
Tech and gear, don't even get me started. It's constantly changing and getting better. And just know that you are always going to be spending dollars. Always.
Yeah.
Just part of the gig.
It is. But yeah,
just spending all the money.
You gotta spend a little money to make some money.
That's right. Yeah.
This year, actually, we decided to lease. We did the Apple lease program because I have a 2015 MacBook and I haven't found anybody to give it to. If you sell it, you're going to get a couple $100 for it.
Sure.
You don't know what to do with all this stuff. So at the end of 3 years, we're going to get rid of it anyways. Oh. And I'm really bad at selling stuff. I'm a hoarder.
I'm kind of a bit of a hoarder too.
Like, do you sell your old cameras and lenses and stuff when you're done with them, or do you hold on to them forever and ever and never?
Well, I did keep them for a while, but then I gave them to my brother. But that was like very close still.
Nice.
So like I knew that it was gonna be in the house.
That's very smart.
We were able to give some lighting equipment to our intern for last. Davon.
We call him Dave Strong. He's so great.
We do. We call him Dave Strong, and we've never asked him if he likes that nickname.
He does. He loves
Davon,
it.
if you're watching, I hope you like your nickname.
Watch Davon come in the chat. Stop calling me that.
He like comes into the chat, but then leaves a comment like exit the chat. Has exited the chat.
Some people feel like their name is really important to them. Like some people, and I don't blame them. Like some people really feel like, a strong connection. You can call me anything you want. Like Jim, Jamie, James. I'm not really connected to I have the most generic name on the planet, so that's probably why.
Sandeep says hi.
Hey, Sandeep.
What up?
That's a cool name too.
Yeah, that was a pretty name.
Okay, I'm gonna finish this up a little bit. I'm gonna try combining them into one photo. It's probably not as much as I would have wanted. Well, how are we doing on time?
Oh, we're good. I mean,
I just never know if I should speed up or slow down. Or what.
Yeah, we're about an hour in, so we have about an hour left.
Cool. Yeah, I'm like, people are like, he's been doing the same thing over and over. And I'm like, tell me about it. Welcome to my life.
I mean, sometimes that's what it is, you're just like a repeat of some processes until it all comes together.
Yeah, it's true.
Yes. So what I love like your guys' like lighting style and your concepts and stuff. And like, Shelby, you're the one who kind of like art directs and really drives like the ideas and stuff. Like what is like, your process, or if you can offer any tips or advice for people who are wanting to art direct or.
Well, we typically, when we get a project, the client tells us, what they're looking for. And sometimes that is extremely specific. And other times the client gives you just complete, total freedom. And both are fun.
Give me that sweet freedom though.
The freedom is fun, but it also comes with a healthy amount of fear because you're just like going in dark and you know that the client probably has some like expectations in their head of what they'd like, but maybe they don't know specifics about it, but they're dreaming, and they're getting excited, and you just totally want to fulfill every aspect of their dreams and hopes. And so that can be nerve-wracking as well, but we typically start every job with a sketch for every shot. And I'm the one that does the sketching, and I love sketching. And something that I've learned to do with the sketching process is if I have the product with us or the space or whatever it is that we're shooting, I like to look at it and do a little bit of styling while I'm sketching so that the sketch that I make is actually achievable, because it has happened before where we've had sketches, and it works on paper with a sketch, but then you get in to shoot it and it's not working with the composition or the lighting or whatever.
Or gravity or the three-dimensional.
Yeah, or gravity. That's another one.
Quantum physics. Like, there was one time I was like almost in tears. I'm like, Shelby, this sketch, it can't exist in the real world. Like the scale, I'm like, what did you sign me up for? Shelby. And she's literally like Tim Gunn. She's like, make it work.
Make it work. Oh my God. Yes. I love Tim Gunn. I wish I could have Tim Gunn next to me all the time. Like, cheering me on.
Yes. So cool.
Love it. I love it.
Yeah, he
no,
probably
definitely.
can. I don't think he's doing anything right now. It's
Oh my
all a time and money equation, right? Like,
Yes.
I promise you that if you had a B at the end of your bank account instead of a $sign at the beginning, like, you could hire Tim Gunn to just tell you to make it work all day. Absolutely.
Oh my gosh. Oh my God. I love it.
I'm trying to figure out-
Adrian has a comment and a question. He says, I see you use a pen tool. It's the biggest reason for me to grow frustrated with Photoshop. What is most likely to trigger your frustration with Photoshop?
The pen tool. No, the pen tool's up there. It's really up there. It took me a long time. I'm still not super familiar with it. I feel like I'm still learning, like, every day.
Yeah.
Masks are select and mask, like the your selection, like when you have an object and your object is casting a shadow and your object's sitting on a table, the shadow is going to get sharper as it gets to where your object meets the table. Mm-hmm. Recreating those kind of means that you need to have a shadow that gets softer as it gets further away, and that's like so hard. I haven't figured it out yet, so somebody's like knows how to do that and they should tell us. All of it, dude, all of it. It's like, you know, there's this thing called the Dunning-Kruger effect, and the Dunning-Kruger effect basically means that when you first start out on something, mm-hmm. you don't know enough about it to know that you're not good at it, right?
Yeah.
Like, some people think that they know how to cook Chinese food, right? Because they have soy sauce and they pour it in, and you know what I mean? But then as you learn more about cooking, you realize that you really don't. And so Photoshop's kind of the same way. Like, at first, like, you know, I'll see some of the things that are possible with Photoshop, and now I know enough about it to know that I've just scratched the surface on what it's capable of.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. And like with all of their new features too that came out this year, I'm like, it's insane. It's insane.
It's wild.
It's
how
so
do
wild.
How do I get back to the desktop? Hold on.
Great question.
I know. Oh, here we go.
Oh yeah.
Oops.
Awesome. No?
I wanted to show that. Okay. Well, never mind. Sorry. I had a collection of Shelby's sketches.
Oh, I actually have one queued up. I can just screen share right now.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we'd love to see, because I feel like that's someone actually also just asked about, I know you guys were kind of talking about, like, you know, when do you know when you're ready to go professional? And so, like, love to get into kind of that conversation about, you know, like that transition. Mm-hmm.
Love it. So this is an editorial that we did for ESPN. Mm-hmm. And this is a good example of like how a sketch can change and evolve over the course of the project. And we worked with Rami, an art director at ESPN, and he was awesome. And it was a fun project because Rami was the one that kind of pushed us to get a little bit like rougher and dirtier with the work, because our work is always so crispy and clean and, you know.
Not trying to push us, like he pushed, like it was like revision. I'm not going to say that it was like revision after revision, because every single note that he gave us made it better.
Yep.
Like he just knew, like, it's Rami at ESPN, like somebody reach out to him and tell him how awesome he is. Like,
he's great.
Every single note that he gave us was spot on. Like the background was originally blue. I had to like really do a lot of masking to make it yellow. It ended up working really well. We had a bigger piece of AstroTurf. We went to Home Depot. That's real grass. We had a bigger piece of AstroTurf.
Oh my God, I love it.
So like everything that he was telling us to do was just, we were just like, wow, this is what it's like to have an art director that just knows what they want.
Yeah, that's amazing. And that's so important too. I think that's for sure like almost like a red flag sometimes when you're working with clients. If they don't know what they want, that's going to make your job a lot harder.
Yeah, exactly. That's why sketches can help so much.
I know. And I was just going to comment, your sketch is like so good.
Oh my gosh. No, I don't think
it's so good.
That's so nice.
I love it. It's like so, I don't know. It's so good.
You're so nice. No, it was fun though. So I don't know if you can see this, but it says what on the bottom of it, one Mickey Band-Aid ? And so we loved that we could incorporate Disney in this because they're owned by Disney. And we just thought that was so that's silly cool. And fun to add that in, like a kid's Band-Aid.
Oh, I love that.
It was for an article called Cracking the Injury Code, and it was for fantasy football team players and how to use the injury stats to make your team like better. I don't know. I don't watch football. I just take pictures about it, I guess. But we really love this shot and how it turned out.
So good. It looks so good. And Rob actually, he just commented, said, I worked with Rami before.
Oh, no way. Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
He's with a couple with Rami.
And he also said too, pro tip, you can tell how great someone's work is by the intensity of their work face.
Oh, that's great, James.
I'm so confused right now because I'm like, I changed the way that Photoshop looks. So I can't find my tabs at the top. So you're probably seeing that's not my work face. That's my panic face.
Jan Eric said the shortcut for the desktop is Command F3. So I don't know if you want to try that, but.
And then my computer crashed.
Oh no.
Nice. Okay, that's the one to get to the desktop. I love that.
Yes.
Thank you. She's thinking clearly.
Thank you, Jan Eric. He's always offering such good tips. He knows the stuff.
Hey, Jan Eric.
Thank God you're here, Jan Eric.
What button did I press to change the way my work space works? Jan Eric, your name is as brilliant as your Photoshop skills.
I love it.
Workspace show. Shelby, show them the Bruegel sketch.
Okay.
That's my favorite one. Because sometimes the sketch does not look like the final product. And then there's the Bruegel sketch.
That's so true.
Right.
Richard also says, or you can tell the quality of work by how many laptops have gone through the window.
True.
I like that one.
Oh, this is cool.
All right.
Obsessed.
This was fun. This was really good rum too. I don't know if you've ever tried it. If you're a rum drinker.
What brand is that?
It's Bruegel, and it's their 1888 collection, which is just so good. If you like whiskey and you maybe don't normally like rum, you'd probably still like this. It's very good. So this is for a collection we did for Bruegel, which was all about rum unexpected for the launch of their new barrel series.
Yeah.
And you can just see this one, you can especially tell, like when I'm saying that I like to look at the actual possible scenes and products and the props and all that when I draw. It's obviously that's what I did here. That's why it's so much like the final image, was because I literally looked at this plant and utilized it to make the photo.
Gosh, I love that.
Yeah, so
you have such good sketching skills.
Thank you.
I love it.
We don't really share a whole lot. Maybe I should share more of this.
I think you should. And it's like, I think because it almost feels like a comic. Like it's like the comic kind of style sketching that I love. It's so good.
Fun fact about James and I is we both, when we were kids, before we knew each other, we both dreamed about being animators when we were older. So maybe that's...
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. See, I can see that. Like storyboarding.
Yeah.
Yes. Love it.
This is one of those defying gravity that James was probably talking about earlier.
Yes. A couple people commented saying that maybe James, you hit the tab key or the F key for the kind of the viewing options. I don't know, on Photoshop perhaps.
Oh my gosh.
Is she figured it
Chat.
out?
You got it?
I just
Okay,
fell in
we
love
got
with
it.
the chat.
We gotta thank Justin
I
Hoffman,
knew it.
Justin Hoffman, Becca Smith, and Jan Eric for saying that.
Thank you, everybody. Because like, it's like when you're
I
on the
love the
phone with like the
chat.
doctor's office and you're so nervous that they're like, "What's your birth date?" And you're like, "My birthday." And they're like, "Yeah, what's your birthday?"
I
know
love it.
perfect.
I love
All
it.
right.
Thank you guys. Thanks to the chat for coming through and
I love this chat.
saving us. Charlie Wilson says hi. Cody says he loves the bottle design, and then Richard says, "I like dark rum, sailor's drink, yo ho ho, and a bottle of rum."
I love it.
I love it.
So good.
But yeah, I mean, I would love to get into a conversation about, like going professional and like what has helped you guys in your business and like that kind of thing. I'd love to discuss that a little bit more. I know a couple of people were asking for sure.
Yeah, I think for us, it kind of just, it's so annoying to say, but it kind of just started to happen. But I think looking back, a big part of why it happened was because we were lucky to have in our kind of world lots of really talented creative people that I think we were able to get more eyes on our work that way, because we have friends that are art directors, video production company owners, just lots of talented folks that in their network they have a lot of people that need work, and then the network continues to ripple out from there. Those people then have their own networks, and social media, it's all just this giant web. And I think we just fell into the right spot on the web where people were able to like get to us and spot us and work with us. So I think that if you want to do photography or any kind of creative work professionally, I think just surrounding yourself physically and socially, like online presence in that way with other people that are in creative fields. And it doesn't even have to be in your specific field, like it was not the case for us, but it still, I do think, benefited us a lot. And just meeting up with different artists that you are inspired by. We did that a lot in New York when we lived in Brooklyn. We would just connect with different graphic designers and 3D rendering artists and just amazing people. And we would just meet for coffee and talk, and we'd, keep in touch. And just all of those little things, you'd be surprised at how much that can really have a ripple effect on eyes getting on your work. And it's amazing to have a network of talented folks that do similar work to you and are going through similar struggles and challenges that you can tap on for advice and encouragement. And it's just a good thing to get to know lots of different creatives and people that are new and been doing it a long time. Like one of our friends, Dana Tanamachi, is an amazing artist. She's a graphic designer. Do you know Dana?
I don't, but
she's great.
I need to.
You do. She's awesome. We met her when she moved to Seattle, and she offered us her apartment in New York. So we sublet from her over there. And that's so cool. Just, every little step that you take toward your goal as a creative, it leads to more opportunities. And so, looking back, I kind of think that's crazy that we did that, because it was moving to New York wasn't even an idea of ours. Yeah. And it was just like, she just threw it out there and said, I think your work is great, and I think it would be really great for your business and fun for you, and just think about it. And James is always like jump in the pool person. And so he was like, yeah, let's do it. And I am the very cautious, more thoughtful,
Yes.
looking at big picture. And
Yeah.
I've learned with being with James that it is really good to be a little bit more loose and spontaneous. And thanks to James, we did take Dana up on her offer and we moved to New York, and it was a really good thing. And met a ton of really awesome folks. And
so basically, go for it. Just
pretty much.
Go for things, even if it scares you. I mean, I feel like that kind of can apply just to any sort of business or going professional or going freelancing. Like,
yes.
Never gonna be ready, you know, like
Yeah.
you're never gonna feel like you've got it all together. I mean, like, we learn by doing, and we learn by just putting ourselves out there and just going for it.
Yep. Totally.
You know, I'm sure that there's somebody, I mean, I don't know how many people are watching this, but I'm sure that somebody watching it saw me flip and press the F key and not know how to get out of it, and saw how frazzled I got. And that person was probably thinking, wait a second, that you're the pro and you made the jump from amateur and you don't know that the F key, you know what I mean? Like, and that person is totally right, dude. You're right. Like, I didn't know what the F key does.
What the F?
What the F? Yeah, exactly. So, but I guess the point that I'm making is, like, there are so many people that want to wait until they know everything about Photoshop before they
going into it.
Go pro. And dude, you just have to say yes. Like, you can go pro and then learn how to do something.
Yeah.
And you just have to believe in yourself to do it. I remember when we lived in New York, we got a call from Chips Ahoy, and they were like, hey, can you guys, 2 days from now, I probably shouldn't have said but 2 days from now, it's National Chocolate Chip Cookie Day, and we need like a huge tiered cake made of chocolate chip cookies for a live news segment on and it's got to be done by 5:30 in the morning 2 days from now. And we were just like, we were so hungry and so poor, and we were like, yes, we can do that. Yes. Then we hung up the phone. We're like, wait a second, did they mean a cake? And no, they didn't. They meant that it needed to look like a cake. It was for a news segment. And then we figured out how to do it. And we went all over the city, and we like got these hat boxes, and we ended up spending a couple $100 on like a cake thing. And we went to the dollar store and got these like antennas, and then like glued cookies to them. And we went above and beyond. And
I love that.
We ended up making like enough to sustain us in New York for a couple months based on that. And they had called other people. They called bakeries. They called other people, and they got no's. And then they called us, and they got a yes. And they were over the moon excited with how it turned out.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
don't wait for you to feel comfortable before you say yes.
Yeah.
Because
for sure.
like that day might never come. I was not comfortable to sign up for this live stream at all. So
prime example here, you guys. Prime example.
Yeah. Totally.
I mean, you have to say yes to discomfort sometimes. Like, discomfort is okay, and I think that's the only way that you can learn, you know.
Totally.
Yeah, a couple of comments. Charlie says, I'm in love right now. Jan Eric says, even pros are human. Cody says, true. And Justin was like, man, I just found out about alt clicking nodes in IL last week, and I've been using it for 10 years. So you learn stuff at whatever stage of your career. You're always learning. I don't think that ever stops, for sure.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. And Cody says, I have a tendency to want everything to be perfect before I feel comfortable starting on a project. And I have to remind myself that that's not realistic. So true.
Right now, we're all about that phrase, done is better than perfect, because we relate to that
hanging
a lot.
On the wall right there.
It's literally hanging on the wall right in front of James's desk, behind that little monitor corner that you can see. And we just fall victim to that so much, because we want everything to be just right and perfect. And you know what? it can really make you frozen and stop you from going anywhere if you kind of let that take over. So it's like, keep making stuff, keep getting out there, keep trying new things, and just put it out there and go on to the next thing and keep moving.
Yeah, and like I said, like, you know, I think I just said, like, don't wait until you like feel confident or believe in yourself to say yes. And I totally understand that that is way easier said than done. And that there are people out there who, you know, they don't have anybody that believes in them like that. You know, and I really feel for those people. And, you know, I guess when it comes to like whether or not you should start taking leaps and pushing yourself, you can just say that we believe in you. And I know that doesn't really help that much because we don't know you, but like, do the work to find somebody who believes that you can do this and ride the coattails of their confidence in you. Yes, and I do that all the time. Like, Shelby has this picture, and I don't think she put it into our slides to share with you guys, but we did this speaking event for Apple recently. Yes. And I was in the like green room, and I was like leaning like with my head in the corner of the room, like hyperventilating, like I literally wanted to die. But you know, Shelby was like, "You're gonna do great. You're gonna do great." And so I just kind of fill in the gaps of my own lack of confidence with what Shelby says.
Oh,
I found it here.
Oh my God, I would love to see that. Oh. You guys, if this doesn't show what the life of a freelance creative, I don't know what does.
Right.
I love it. Well, everyone's being super encouraging in the chat. So Richard said, Behance chat is gold. And then Charlie says, why are they so cute though? And then Christoph says, don't worry, James. A few days back, Rick Austinbrook, I don't know who that person is, didn't know that you can clip layers while holding Alt. So there's that.
What's that?
And, Rick Austinbrook didn't know that you can clip layers while holding Alt. So, you know.
Well, and I don't even know what that means.
Same. You know what I mean?
Right.
And also a couple more comments too. Jan Eric says, the pro is defined by what they do with what they know, not by the tools they don't know. And
boom, I love that.
Rob says, pro tip, there's a difference between being a pro and an expert. I'd take pro any day.
Oh, yeah, totally. Dude, that makes total sense.
These are wise people.
I know. And then Justin says, yes, you have to get outside of your comfort zone to grow. Absolutely. Completely agree. Everyone in the chat is so nice, you guys. I love the community that Adobe Live has fostered. And I mean, you know, even through this pandemic, like Adobe Live has really just like grown and expanded so much. And like, it's just been awesome to see how much they've fostered a community around education, because it's so important. Because, you know, I'm sure you guys know, like, again, like you in your business, like you're like learning things as you go. There's not really like, there's resources now, I think, more than before, but there was not much, you know, out there even a few years ago.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
feel like every job, every project that we do, we're getting challenged to learn something new.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with, you know, we work a lot with real tangible things. It's not all made in Photoshop. We have, like, you know, like James was saying earlier, it's a balance where Photoshop ends and the real stuff comes in. Mm-hmm. And with that, it's a challenge too, just building or making something to shoot. I know that you guys do that as well in your studio, but you know what I'm talking about, where it can be really like, never done this before, but here we go.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely, and that's the thing, right? When you're creative too, and I'm sure you can speak on this, Shelby, but like, there's things, you know, you're like, sometimes you can't find the right inspiration or things to show what you want to make, because
Yes.
it literally doesn't exist.
Yep.
It's completely like you're literally pulling this out of your brain, and
Totally.
now you have to like figure out how to make it come to life.
Exactly.
It's a challenge. It's a challenge.
Yep.
Yeah, and we all go through that too.
Yeah.
And you know who especially goes through it? The people who don't tell you that they go through it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, I listen to a lot of podcasts of creators, and a lot of them are like, it just comes to me. No, your brain is firing off just like ours. Like,
Yes.
you know, like it doesn't all come from like within or above. Like, you know, we all have these experiences, and sometimes it's hard to access that stuff, and it'll come to you eventually.
Yeah, for sure. Jessica Tam is asking, how long did it take for you guys to gain comfortability with the tools that you use on a daily basis? And did you have a learning curve? And I'm assuming, you know, either Photoshop or maybe like art direction or creative skills. So yeah, I'd love to hear that.
In keeping with the theme, I would say, do I look that comfortable? I would say, like, I'm never going to be super comfortable doing it. I tell Shelby all the time, like, I wish that it was 200 years from now when this is all voice, when you could just be like,
oh my God,
make the background pink, make the, you know what I mean? Like, because it will be that way. Quantum
Oh my God.
That it's going to be that way. But I mean, like,
I can't even wrap my head around it yet.
Right. Yeah. I think like I feel comfortable enough to say yes to projects. That's important. And I feel comfortable enough that like I can do something and get it done. But I don't feel comfortable enough that I can get it done necessarily the right way.
Sure.
So like I want to change the color of this money. And so I was thinking about using the pen tool again and how long that would take, and how you guys already watched me use the pen tool a few times. And so I just selected the backdrop with the magic select tool, and then inversed it, and then used the polygon select tool to what is it called? Yeah, it is polygonal lasso tool to subtract the rest of the selection from it. And then I Command J, like copied that on into its own layer. Yeah. So now I have like
just
this
the money
crude like outline of the money on its own layer, and that is not perfect, and that is not the right way to do it, but I'm confident that I will be able to accomplish what I want to do that way. And you guys aren't always here looking over my shoulder, so like
right, exactly. I know, it's even more nerve-wracking having people watch, for sure.
Yeah, because like so my computer's kind of freezing up a little bit right now, but it happens. Like this money, I feel like in my mind, money is green. And a lot of people, they think of like getting that green, you know, like they think of money as being green, but this money doesn't really look that green. Yeah. And so I kind of want to like make the money look a little bit more like what people think money looks like in their head.
I love that. I love how you're like the process of how you are coloring and how you go about it, I think, and how you explain it. I love that.
And then I duplicated this money again, so that I kind of have like a background layer that I'm not going to touch of that money, so I can kind of experiment on it. And let's see here. Let's have it set to 100.
I dig it. Kath Kaur says it's her first time on Adobe Live. This is fun. So thank you for joining, Kath.
Yeah.
Hi, Fairy. Super cool. Thanks for joining us, you guys. We're here with Shelby and James. We've got about like 20 minutes left. They're working on this really cool project that's about just all hands on deck, you know, all the things that we're stressing about currently. Yep. And, you know, they're explaining their process, sharing all their tips and tricks. And I do want to mention that this live stream will be available for replay. So if you are just joining now, you can totally watch it later fully.
Oh, there it goes.
Yeah, and tomorrow's will be as well. So it's great. Then you can kind of like pause and rewatch and kind of jot down any notes if you want.
So while the computer was frozen, instead of like relaxing and giving it the space that it needs, I was still clicking around like a chicken with its head cut off. And then when it unfroze, all those little clicks that I was doing all of a sudden like
appeared.
So that's fun. All right. I think it's gonna work now.
Nice.
We'll see.
We'll see. I love it. Oh, Fairy's hi Fairy. He's usually in the chat. I recognize his name. Once you're doing these live streams, I feel like I always recognize some names. So thank you guys for joining.
Love it.
Yeah. Richard says that's a pretty cool tip. Duplicate your layer so you can erase without worry.
Right. Yeah. I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with the term destructive editing.
Yes.
Like erasing. Like I didn't even start using masks until like a year into Photoshop. Like I was just erasing stuff. And then if like I went over the line, I would just like Control Z undo that. Yeah. Because like the mask tool was really intimidating to me.
Same.
So I would just destructively edit stuff.
And that's okay. You know, you did that in the beginning.
That is okay.
And
this is really weird. So nothing is working for me right now. And I guarantee you what it is my computer, and I'm probably like overloading it. You know, because we didn't get the souped up desktop, we got the souped up laptop, and it's over there. So that's just
it's all good. It's all good. Cody says, "Oh my gosh, I always start clicking like crazy when Photoshop is lagging."
Oh no.
Oh my gosh, Jan Eric says, when my system freezes, I get salty and basically trash talk my computer. And Cody also says, I totally relate to those destructive edit techniques.
Dude, you're on the team. So one thing I'm going to do so that it works a little bit better is start closing out some of my other windows. So I have like multiple layers on multiple tabs. And so Photoshop is keeping all of that in mind. And so I'm going to close those things out. Just press Control S on them first so that it saves your adjustments that you made and close them. I don't know how many of you like have 1,000 tabs open at the top by the end of the day, and then Photoshop is super glitchy and you're like, why?
Yes. Fairy says, I'm usually crying when Photoshop is lagging.
Oh.
If somebody says that they've never cried over Photoshop, then they're lying.
Right. I know.
And I mean, it's not Photoshop's fault. It's mine. But still, it's like, when your tools don't work the way that you think that they're going to, that's hard on people. It's hard on me.
Yeah, for sure. Fairy asked, how do you find your own ideas?
Ooh.
Whew. How do you find your own ideas? Well, I mean, your own ideas are still a combination of other people's ideas. Like if you look at our website and look at the About tab for us, we're inspired by like pop art, Saved by the Bell, West Coast aesthetic. Like we're inspired by a lot of things. And so, just don't put so much pressure on yourself to come up with something that like blows your own mind. It's not that big a deal.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with being inspired by something that you see and doing your own iteration of that. I think that it's important to just have fun and like we were saying earlier, just keep making stuff. Yeah,
for sure.
You guys want to see some more sketches?
Ooh, yeah, that would be awesome.
Thanks, Shelby. You know what? Yeah, I think that it would be smart to restart Photoshop, but I think we're also close to the end that I'm not going to do.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is a collection that we did for Adidas Ultra Boost, and this shoe is called the Oreo, and I think it's
that's that, so amazing. I love
that milkshake Oreo quality to the upper fabric area. And so obviously you dunk an Oreo, so we had to do a dunking inspired image for this collection.
I love it.
Yeah, and then also like she was saying, how do you come up with your own ideas? Sometimes it's hard to come up with your own ideas because you're overcomplicating things and not just going with like the simple route that's right in front of you.
Yeah.
Perfect example. Oreo colorway. You dunk your Oreo.
Yeah.
Duh. Like you don't have to blow everyone's mind every single time. Yeah. And so like, you're your own worst critic too. So as you're thinking of these ideas, like you're putting yourself in the shoes of somebody who
in the shoes.
Oh, hey.
Okay, but the other cool thing too about this specifically too is that the word dunk is also so like connected to like basketball, which is like a sport, and it's like all of it's like connecting, which I love, and I think it's so brilliant when you can find those like connections between like art and like all these other things. Like it just makes the work even more special. It's a visual pun.
Visual pun.
That's what Justin said. Cody says, now I want Oreos.
I know, me too.
Dude, visual pun. Dude, that phrase has gone through our heads so many times, and we like used to do that a lot. Like, and there was a time when we were just like, oh my God, like, does everything that we do have to be a visual pun? Like,
I love it.
So this is another one just playing off of the Oreo with the cream filling and the cookies. So good.
Oh my gosh,
and I do like that we kind of played off of their logo. I don't know if you are familiar with the Adidas logo. That's the 3 stripes that look like a mountain peak.
Yes.
So kind of like we're utilizing that for the shadows there. And then this is a great example of, again, a sketch evolving during production. And it started with the concept of it just being one end of a pulley. And then we kind of like expanded on that. And this is a real set that we built and then obviously used Photoshop to accentuate it in post.
Oh my gosh, I love it
so much. It's really fun to actually like get into the toolkit and make this stuff together.
Yes.
And I really like how that turned out.
It looks so good. Christoph says, actually, this dunk Oreo print, mind blown. And Jan Eric also said, as long as you don't milk the pun, though.
Boom.
I love it.
Let's all start an agency together. Whoever made those comments.
Yes.
I know. You did a job in copy, girl. That's good.
Remember that big building that we showed you? Like, that's the agency in our mind. We're just like, one of these days, we're going to kick everybody that's in it right out of there. And we're going to, the whole thing is just going to be all of us.
Yes.
Us and the chat.
I love it.
So Photoshop, my computer, I keep on saying Photoshop, like, sorry guys, it's my computer. We got the base level Mac for the desktop. We scooped up laptop. We made the wrong call, but I think we have kind of a finished product here.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I love it. It's come together so well.
So yeah, I mean, like the money is a little greener than it is in real life, but that's the whole thing. Like I'll probably edit this a little bit more tonight and maybe show you
maybe tomorrow you can show us like a little bit more of like what the finished edit looks like.
I want to like put something on the screen of the phone, like that was
right.
So we were like taking these with a strobe. We had something on the screen of the phone, but then something about like the flash sync speed of our light and our camera, the phone screen just showed up black every single time. We made all these different
Yeah.
adjustments. There's nothing that we could do. Like every time we took that picture, it was black.
Yeah.
And so we went into Adobe stock, and they had some phone screen stuff and some different symbols that we licensed. And so we got those so that we can put them on there. How much time do we have left?
We have about 10 minutes, so you guys can.
Yeah, there might be a little bit of time to do that.
Yeah, perfect. That sounds good. Oh, sorry. More like 7.
That.
And then Christoph says, James, turn off the smoothing in the brush tool bar up top. That might help. Maybe.
Oh, thanks. I usually keep it at 10%.
Nice.
And when I was making another project last night, I pumped that up.
Nice.
Dude, the chat's got my back so hard.
I know.
No, I love the chat. Can you guys be a part of every project we do?
I know. Dude, that would be so sick. That would be amazing.
I
Let's
love
see
it.
here.
I love it.
Somebody said Command F3, and look at that.
Ooh.
Let's see here. And
Nice, nice. Oh. Yeah.
Wow. Awesome.
Okay, awesome.
So
I know. I feel like that it usually happens like that. Like phones and like screens just don't show up when you're shooting with strobe. So like you just have to like the trick that I always do, I was just like whatever I want on my phone, like I'll just screenshot it on my phone and then send it to
Oh, that's genius. Love it.
And that's what everybody should do, because when you try to expose a photograph for the screen, it doesn't work. So I use the perspective warp tool. This will be the last thing that we do, and it's gonna work. And I'm gonna feel good about myself afterward. So the perspective warp tool makes you able to look like you're looking at something from a different perspective. So I'm gonna take it and wrap it around this phone screen and then press the warp button. And then I can take these corners here and match them up with the corners of my phone.
Ooh.
And
Ta-da.
it's gonna work. I just know it.
Oh my gosh.
Let's see here. All right.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah, so am I. I'm really excited for it to work.
Jeremy
See, like-
says, I love this show.
Glad you do. Please tune in tomorrow,
Yes.
where I'll
oh my gosh.
fully lose my mind.
Same Adobe time, same Adobe channel.
Yes.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. Oh yeah. Okay. That looks real good already. I know. I love that. I love that tool that like kind of helps you like change the perspective or the angle at which the thing is.
Yeah.
That's really good.
And
And you got that little yellow frame in there.
Oh yeah.
And then
Ooh, I feel like this could be like the start of a series of like different stages of like 2020. So maybe like the start was like, you know, like you were out at a bar so you could still drink, maybe a cocktail, maybe like whatever. And then like March was like mask, hand sanitizer, and like
Toilet paper.
toilet paper.
Big time. That I think is like April, maybe. Right?
Oh yeah, actually, yeah, you're right.
It's like you couldn't get it anywhere.
Guys, I'm gonna destructively edit.
Ooh.
I'm using my eraser tool because I know that we're running out of time. But guess what? It's like for Instagram, it's not for a client. And you cannot be so hard on yourself that you like stress out about making your Instagram posts perfect, because you'll just never post them.
Yeah, that's so true.
So, and then like, I will always like, yeah, just take that pressure off of yourself. Just edit this stinking photo, post it to your Instagram, destructively edit. It doesn't matter. You're never going to go back into that file again. You know how many PSDs I have on my computer that I will never open ever again? And if I ever did want to edit, I would just edit the JPEG. Like, us crazy people, like we just worry so much about everything, and we just can't do that.
Yeah.
We need to calm down.
I love that advice. I love that. I think, yeah, people need to just, just like get over this feeling of like having it to be perfect.
Totally.
Because perfect is not, it doesn't really exist. You can get close, but if it's stopping you from putting that work out there and like, going after the clients that you want, or
the funny thing is too that like art is so subjective, and everyone has their own opinion about it. So perfect to you could be total trash to somebody else. So it's like, just be true to your own gut feelings and what you perceive as good, and just make stuff. Keep going.
Yes, exactly. Cody says destructive edits, gasp. And then Valerie says nobody looks at these things in such detail like we do, which is pretty true.
Oh, dude. So there are so many jobs that we've had where I go to bed thinking, this is it, Shelby. We're never going to work in this town again. They're going to hate it. They're going to see that I couldn't figure out how to do this. So they're going to like, we're fired.
Yes.
They'll email us in the morning and be like, this is flawless. We love every, like,
amazing.
And then He's really hard on himself, you guys.
See, James, everything's okay. And I'll be like, what do they know?
Oh my gosh. Well, I love it. And yep, Cody says, so true. I have so many PSDs I could just throw out, but I won't. PSD hoarder over here.
Yep.
I love it, you guys. Well, we're getting pretty close now, about maybe like a minute left. So we probably should wrap up. Right. But yeah, do you want to just really quickly show the full thing and kind of talk about maybe what we went over and then what we'll talk about tomorrow?
Awesome. Yep. So this is the full thing. This is all about the different priorities that we have in our lives. And for you, it might not be money, Instagram, and painting. It might be a COVID mask. It could be anything. Like, we all have these things in our lives. So that's what the photo represents. Tomorrow, I'll do a little bit more editing to finish this up. And then we have some more photos that we can work on that are a little bit different. Probably in keeping with painting and money. That's like been on our minds because we have so much painting to do and so little money. So I don't know how it works out that way. But this is it. And I would post this on Instagram, and I think people would like it and they'd enjoy it.
Absolutely.
Or
I'm enjoying it right now.
I can start nitpicking it and I can convince myself it's garbage. But thankfully, Shelby won't let me do that, and I hope there's your life.
No, never.
I hope there's someone in your life that won't let you do that to yourself either.
Again, thank you guys so much for tuning in to Adobe Live. Day 1 is over, but we'll be back tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. PST. So please join us again tomorrow for another photo editing stream with Little Drill. But for now, we will see you until tomorrow. So thanks, you
guys.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
So wrapped up in numbers in our society, and the most important thing is that we're able to be one-to-one, you and I, with each other at the moment. That's what's important.